Hello, everyone. Welcome to Celebrate Black Excellence Speak Out. I'm your digital host, Carlton T. Clay. Our next poet is originally from Kansas City. I present to you Prim-One.
In this moment, if I had one wish, I would like to be able to communicate with the ocean. Now you can laugh, but this is quite serious. You see, the sea would be all-seeing upon personification. It gave birth to history, and the byproduct of its being is found within nearly everything, including roughly a little north of 60% of that watery frame you're possibly using to convey very judgmental body language to me through your screen right now. So why would I not want to be able to communicate with the ocean? Why would I not want a chance for the first time in my life, after countless sleepless nights, after so many shattered relationships, after so many moments of abandonment, after so many moments of scoping in the open caskets and wishing the pine would spread a passenger seat for a two-man occupancy, after so many neon lit indications that no matter how much love I receive from my loved ones, once that love's gone, I'm on my own. Why would I not want a chance for the first time in my life to speak to myself and not feel alone? To feel as if the world could hear me. To feel as if the world were actually listening. Why would I not want to be able to communicate with the ocean, to speak with the ocean openly, and never have my tears be seen as a sign of weakness, but only as a contribution to its body? Now don't snap and react like you get me if you ain't got me. The conversation I'm discussing will not be crazy. The conversation I'm discussing will be godly. What if I were able to communicate with the ocean? I wonder what it would think of this poem that I wrote it. I wonder if the sky would swell with her tears. I wonder if she would just ball this up and throw it in the trash the way I imagine I always would if it ever made it to paper. I wonder how she feels about her opportunistic little creations. I wonder if she hates us. I wonder how she feels about the slave ships that her waves were forsaken by. About the fact that we abused her sole purpose to purely create lives and use her as a vindictive tool to take lives. Oh yes, the stories that she can tell. That's why the biggest question I gotta ask myself is, if I were able to communicate with the ocean, I wonder what the ocean would say to me. I wonder how that conversation would affect the way I think. Really, I wonder how that conversation would affect the way I breathe. One moment of her misery, one moment of her history would feel like my eternity. She would wrap me up into the crashing of her waves, into the arms of her pain so tight I would begin to feel as though I was drowning, and that would be okay with me, because at least then I could die knowing that I lived with the truth in my lungs, literally, even if only for a second. That's why I bet that if I were able to communicate with the ocean would understand me. I would be able to express my hobbies and my interests freely without its reaction ever being, oh, I think it's awesome that you defy the stereotypes and listen to rock music. I don't see color at all, man. Hey, by the way, have you ever listened to Hootie and the Blowfish? Have you ever listened to Seven Dust? Have you ever listened to Jimi Hendrix? You see, in a conversation with the ocean, these types of things were never needed to be said. Therefore, I'd never be expected to temper my response to such nonsense or bite my tongue with reactions like this. Why? Thanks, man. Or on those days, most days where I really don't care and I want to snap reactions like this. Why, thank you, person of European descent, for needlessly pointing out the fact that I'm black while claiming you can't tell that I'm black while patting yourself in the back in the process. That's mighty white of you. And I'm sure you don't see color at all, man. You have no idea what to do in traffic when that light turns red. You just put your foot on the gas, crank up the Allman Brothers, and pray for the best, don't you? And who really hasn't listened to Jimi Hendrix? Please remove yourself from my face with that nonsense. But I digress. My point is, if I were able to communicate with the ocean, all of the pain and all the rage and all the stress that resides inside of me would finally cease to be, and I would finally find peace inside of the tide. I would finally feel as though the world could hear me. I would finally feel as though the world were actually listening, because it would be if I, if you, if we are all finally one day able to communicate with the ocean.
All right, let's give it up for Prim-One. Thank you so much for that. We definitely appreciate you. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
And thank you for sharing your words. If people want to know more about you or they want to see more of your content, how can they get that information?
The best way to get a hold of me would be Facebook right now. It's Prim-One the Poet. That's 2 words. So it's Prim-One, P-R-I-M-O-N-E, 1, the Poet. That's 1 word as well. So
awesome. And if you want to be a part of Celebrate Black Excellence Speak Out, send us an email at CBE365@WJBF.com. I'm Carlton T. Clay. This is Celebrate Black Excellence Speak Out. Have a go.